Just want to welcome you all. We're expecting a few more to come as well. We're going to have a question and answer period. So we'll look forward to hearing your questions, answering your questions, and you can also put your questions as we go in the Q&A or in the chat. So welcome to the best project startup using the MEP Productivity Pack presentation. A lot of P's there. My name is Jay Polding. I'm an industry solution specialist with SolidCAD. And we also have with us a technical consultant for architecture, engineering, and consultant and construction. And that's Patrick Simic. So Patrick will be explaining a little bit about what he does in a few minutes. Just for myself, I help companies strategize around the technology and how to go from where you are to where you want to be with design technology. We are a platinum reseller for Autodesk. We are the largest in Canada. We're across Canada, and we're in both official languages, English and French. And what industry do we not work in? That's probably the question. We work in a lot of different industries. Right now, we're mainly focusing around these first three: architecture, engineering, and construction. And really, even if we get a little bit narrower in our focus, we're really looking at BIM and AEC services and software that goes with it, the technology and the services that you need to get going with BIM. So we do all of the things that you can see on the screen there. We've been doing them for years. So why are you here? Why would you want to use the MEPP or the Mechanical, Electrical, Plumbing Productivity Pack? Well, really the idea here is that you want to start with something that's ready to go, ready to work, not ready to assemble. So when you get Revit out of the box, it's great. Actually, there's a lot there, but you could never have everything because there's so many different types of buildings, manufacturers. So really, we want to start here with the car, not here with all the many parts, and maybe somewhere in between. But you definitely don't want to start way at the beginning and try to make everything yourself. And that's really, again, that's probably why you're here. We're glad you're with us today. If you are developing content, maybe a template or equipment of different manufacturers and engineering data and schedules, that's why you're here. We want to give you an option that will accelerate that process. So the MEP Productivity Pack, what is it? Well, really, it's a pack of content geared at the MEP market. It's been developed and refined over the last 10 years. Over 10,000 expert hours have been invested in its development and refinement over the years. Hundreds of companies around the world use it, and it's MEP content, so Revit content. So that would be like you need some equipment from Train, or you need a VAV box, or you need a fixtures or devices, and they need to look right. That's content. Then templates, Revit templates, a sample project so you can see this content in action, and then training materials. And it's all developed by MEP engineers, active MEP engineers for MEP engineers. And you'll see that as Patrick goes through how you start up a project. So with that, we'll talk a little bit more. There's some more detail I want to talk to you about, but let's get right into the technical side of things. That's why you're here, to see it in action. So Patrick is going to show you how you start up a project with the Revit MEPP. And I'll keep an eye on the Q&A and the chat in case there's any questions that come up. I'll just go off camera.
Sounds good. Thank you, Jay. Just give me a second here. Yeah, so as Jay mentioned, the MEP3 or the MEP Productivity Pack is already content that has already been built for you. So to start up a project, what takes the longest is creating the views, applying view templates to those views, making everything kind of connecting and working. And then over time, as you start modeling and you start designing and analyzing your work, completing with those construction document drawings. So one of the things that the MEP3 productivity pack comes with is already a, let's just say almost a finished product, but with no modeling inside of it. So as we kind of jump into the pack, if I come from here, one thing with the starter project is it's already a work sharing model. So along with a work sharing model, you do have work sets. Work sets are, again, used to organize your projects, but also they're used for visible and graphic reasonings within the productivity pack. So as I take the MEP starter project, there's already also embedded inside of it some placeholders, architectural, electrical, and structural Revit file placeholders. So again, for the ease of just linking in your files, having them ready on a specific work set, being pinned, that's already kind of done for you. So as we kind of start opening the starter project, detaching it from Central, again, having all of the different work sets that are part of the pack itself, again, modifiable. Working our way through here, always detaching and preserving the work sets, keeping the work sharing function on. So as we have the productivity pack open, we're going to be starting off with just the splash screen. So again, just a starting page showing us some information in regards to the project. So as we know, we could always add some project information, the name of the project, project address, client or owner, any type of information that is regarding the project itself. First thing we're always going to want to do is just simply save out the project. So quickly, just saving our project to the proper location. Going to keep it nice and simple here, MEP, and I'd say webinar. It's going to be my project name. Having it a work sharing file, giving it a few seconds here to save out. So again, there is a poll question right now. So one of the great things about the pack, as I was kind of mentioning, things are already done for you. What I mean by that is your views with view templates, ways that things are organized within the pack are already done for you, along with sheets. Another thing that takes a long time when creating a project or starting one is developing all the views, but then placing those views onto a sheet. So again, multiple views along with sheets have been already created, along with views already placed onto those sheets. So as we have the project saved out here, what we're going to see is on the right side in the project browser, we have a few different view classifications. So again, there is a process utilizing this productivity pack, starting from project setup, which we're going to be looking at here. So again, we're going to go step by step, looking how we could quickly set up a project for this webinar, and then kind of just talking about a little bit more of the other types of views and how it's being affected by the project setup workflow. So again, as we start working through here, we start opening our view classifications. They are classified by the view classification, type of view, and then let it be a discipline. So again, general for all the different types of disciplines within the pack itself. Coming with the productivity pack, we already have some pre-established levels. So again, levels 1 to 8 with a roof level and a basement level. Going to start jumping into the project setup 01 view. Utilizing the work sets. So with our working view already inside of the floor plan, we do have scope boxes along with a few different sections. So the first thing what we're going to want to do here is link in our model. So since I mentioned there are already placeholders inside of this file, as I go to the Manage tab and I go to Manage Links, all we're doing is just reloading from the new location where the architectural model has been found. So as I select the architectural model, it is already in place inside of the project, pinned and on the correct work set. So reloading the model, going to use my office building as an example, selecting open, having that model being placed origin to origin as it is the default placeholder. And as we click OK, we should see our model now into place. Not all projects are the same. So again, the scope box that we have right now on the project setup view can be modified to the size of your building. What's nice about this scope box is all of the views in the construction documents, the ones that are being placed onto a sheet, are already affected by the scope box. So as you manipulate the size of the scope box, if I kind of expand construction documents as an example, here we have the different disciplines. And as I start opening these different views, you'll see there's already pre-made views for you. Working plans, which is going to be our demolition or existing plans for HVAC, for plumbing, mechanical piping, and so on. As I open one of these views, we could already see we have the linked file in place, along with a view template, and also that scope box that is applied to it. So as you are working with your project setup view, you start modifying your scope box. It is affecting not only just one view, but multiple views throughout your project, keeping that consistency from view to view. So once we kind of work with our scope boxes, we do have other scope boxes also within the package. So if we have a mechanical room, we could quickly take a scope box, align it to the appropriate area for our location. We can give the scope box a name to give it a option when we go to the view. So I could come into the description, selecting mechanical room, having that into place. Now we got a mechanical room scope box that can be applied to another view. Same thing for other types of areas. We could use a power scope box, maybe for the electrical room, moving it over here, or even a plumbing one for our restrooms. So again, some elements that are already in place for us to easily modify in place to where they need to go. And again, the overall scope box is actually modifying multiple views in the pack. Once we have the link model in place, if I go to my section view, here we'll see the linked model in place along with some predetermined levels. So inside of the productivity pack, you're going to have levels 1 through 8, the roof level and the basement level. Along with these levels comes reference planes. So again, reference planes, they can be utilized for you to host your different elements too. So again, different ways of hosting Revit content is directly onto the link, onto a reference plane, or hosting it off of a level. So inside of the productivity pack, there are already reference planes with dimensions attached to them and also being named. So again, as you're inside of the pack, you could quickly utilize them as needed. More reference planes can be created here, but again, it's already a starting point, which you don't have to create moving forward. Once we link in the file, we're now just going to remove any levels or any reference planes that are not needed. So with the naming conventions, on the right side, we have level 1, 2, and roof from the architectural link. On our side, we have level 1, 2, and then 3 and 4, and so on. So what I'm just going to do here is I'm going to start just removing a few of my reference planes along with some of the levels. As we start removing some of these elements, views that have already been created inside of your project browser, once a level is deleted, we will start to see now the levels start to disappearing within the views themselves. So again, now we have a level 1, 2, and roof. And with this, we can now start using our copy monitor functionality. Collaborate tab, copy monitor, selecting from the link. What you want to do is always make sure you are naming the level names from the host or from the linked model to your host model, that they match exactly, also case sensitive. So with that, by using the copy monitor function and a couple settings preset inside of the options, when I hit copy, all I got to do is select what I want to copy over. Level 1 automatically will not add a new level, but it's monitoring it since it's the exact same name. Same thing goes for level 2. And as we look for the last one, roof, we will see that existing level at the very top of our productivity pack. Once we click roof, it automatically associates itself back to the linked roof model. Once we got the levels in place, green check mark to finish, and now we're already set to move forward. With our levels in place, we could go back to the project setup view. If there are any grids, we could also do the copy monitor functionality, similar to what we did for the levels. As we start populating now with the project elements in place, in the project browser, we do have sheets, as I mentioned before. Sheets have already been created for you. As we expand the sheets based off of the different disciplines that we are working with, if I go to mechanical, here we have a large list of sheets already for us. As you are starting up the project, if I go to my M101 as an example, we already have a sheet created for us, or also a view placed for us, and a few schedules. So again, with that project setup view, modifying your scope box, adding some scope boxes or moving them around, they're always updating the views in our project browser at the top, but then those views that have been placed on the sheet are also being updated at the same time. The only thing we would have to do here with the project setup is remove any other, say, sheet views that are not needed. So again, just cleaning up a few of these locations of the sheets, which I'll kind of just do a few over here. Again, to have a more clean sheet layout. Along with the sheets themselves, we have also sheets with schedules already applied to them. So inside of the starter pack, there are multiple schedules ready for you to use. As I expand schedules and quantities, we have our different disciplines. Expanding, I could do, since I'm on HVAC here, expanding mechanical, opening HVAC. Again, a list of different types of views. So again, we do have design schedules versus construction document schedules. So design schedules, this is more for internal workflows, verifying information, working with the information that you're inputting into the content. Once you kind of work with those, the final schedules that are placed onto a sheet would be the specific equipment schedules, or again, we also have the diffuser schedules. Schedules that have already been created have also been placed onto a sheet. So as I double click onto M601, here we could already see a sheet established with a few different schedules. So once again, all of that upfront work, all of that startup of creating the sheets, adding the schedules, or placing the views onto the sheet have already been done for you. So once we have the linked model into place, we have some of the sheets being cleaned up. The next kind of steps, which would be for the project startup, is already just getting into starting to model. So again, just to kind of talk about a little bit here, project setup, and we got our working views. This is where we're doing the modeling. As mentioned, inside of this project or inside of this productivity pack, every single view has a view template assigned to it. So there is a specific workflow that's going to be done. Your working views, that's where you do all of your modeling. So again, if I quickly just jump into a working view, and I will go to a ceiling plan, we can start to work in here. As we kind of zoom in and work with our projects, with our reviews in place, I could start adding a few of the components as needed. So again, applying a few of our air terminals inside of our spaces. With those air terminals, I could add a VAV box, giving it a specific height. So again, quickly modifying and placing our elements in with already the views created for us. As we start to kind of, maybe I'll come into here, placing these items in. Maybe we could change this type. And then connecting our elements. Again, as we continue doing the modeling within our projects, completing the systems, again, working views are already created for us. As we jump back to the construction document views, those have already been created for us to do any kind of annotating towards our systems. A lot of components like tags and information are embedded inside of the content pack itself. With your construction document views, working through them, using your analysis views to analyze your elements, finally getting back to my sheets, and we can see quickly with a few clicks, picks and clicks, linking our elements, everything's already kind of combined as a final project. All we really need to do is start doing the modeling, start analyzing and updating any of the information that is needed. So again, that would be a kind of a quick overview of the MEP3 productivity pack. Again, for your mechanical, plumbing, and electrical components from the start to finish, quickly getting up and running inside of a project and having already all those views, schedules, and sheets ready for you right at your hands. So Jay, I'll pass it back to you. Kind of any kind of questions or comments, or even adding more information about the pack.
Yeah, so no, that's awesome, Patrick. That really, and keep in mind, that's just getting started, and it saves. We've really had a lot of comments from clients say that it saves just what he did there, saves many hours of time just in the startup process alone. And there's lots more we can talk about. I'm just going to review a couple other important points here. That the MEP pack is built to industry standards. So when you probably recognize a lot of these associations here, both Canadian and American, and everything is built according to these standards. There's also an Imperial and a Metric pack that are also going to be released shortly. Okay, so let's just review. So the MEP Productivity Pack, it's been developed over the last 10 years plus and refined every year. There's a new pack released every year, an updated pack every year in its entirety. And you can either buy an upgrade or you can just buy it again if you need to, if you want to, well, you can just buy the upgrade if you already have it. Or you can buy a new one. The MEP content is developed by engineers for engineers, and you have not only just content like those diffusers and ducts and VAV boxes that Patrick showed, but you have templates, you have a sample project, you have, when I say a template, a starter project, you also have a sample project, you have training materials, and we can provide you with that training. In fact, Patrick is one of our amazing trainers on this. And it's made to industry standards, both in metric and imperial. So with that, let's open it up to questions. There's only a couple of us here, so let me just quickly review some of our associations and sponsorships. You can see there we work with companies across Canada at an official level, CanBIM. We have many clients, many clients who are purchasing the MEP pack and other BIM services from us. So with that, let me go to the participants, and I'm just going to click allow to talk on Zoom, and you can unmute if you'd like, and if you have any questions. You can also reach out to me if you want to talk by email. We can do that as well, and just go over things, maybe do a specialized demonstration or discovery for your company. Okay, well, I'm just going to ask you to unmute if you do, just in case you're having trouble technically, but if you don't have questions, that's okay. We can reach out and chat at another time. You know, we appreciate you guys coming and watching this. We hope it was very informational and help you to see you want to start with the car, not with assembling the car. It's going to save you a lot of time. All right, well, if there's nothing else, with that, we will end the webinar. Thank you once again for coming, and we will see you soon, I'm sure.